We had a lot of Pickens and Puka Nakua and JSN conversation leading up to this video here. So we don't necessarily need to dig into all of that, but I'm certainly here to answer your questions surrounding those situations. But also, free for all, we'll do some polls. I'll throw up a couple like, who do you like better? This guy, this guy. What two do you like better? A freaking QB and wide receiver poll. We'll throw up a bunch of polls, but we're here doing it like we do, like once or twice or maybe 3 times a month outside of the studio, just kind of chilling. Because your boy likes to mix it up once in a while. So hit me with your questions. I'm here for you. And what's going on? Slim in the building. What's up, my boy? What is up? Probably go for a little jog after this, but here to answer some questions for about, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 hour. Depends how we're rolling. What's going on? Simi Valley in the building. What's up, my guy? Smitty, Ocean 44 in Scottsdale. I think I've seen it. I don't really go out, bro. I don't really go out. I don't know if that's like a bar, whatever. Um, Appreciate you. Is it possible Diggs never gets another contract? No, he'll sign pretty quickly, bro. He'll have a home. Diggs will have a home. No doubt about that. Unless he's like injured or something that we're not knowing about. We're not hearing about. All right, what's that little symbol by everybody's? I don't know if you guys are seeing that too. So by everybody's comment. Is it possible Diggs? No. Yeah. All right, hit me with your questions. What do you got? What do you hear? What do you say? I got all the usual suspects coming in here. Terry Roberts in the building. Overcome in the building. What's up, my boy? 2990. Appreciate you. Romario, of course. Bruce is loose, baby. Caps is in the building. Daniel's in the building. C Dub's in the building. Simi Valley. Slim's in the building. Chris is in the building. Thoughts on 27 class and 27 rookie picks, and are they overvalued? See, the problem with the 2027 rookie class and the overvaluation of everything and the way people talk about it, it's not so much that one class is, better than the other. One's deeper, 2027 is deeper than 2026. But when people start talking about like, oh, trade for any 2027 pick, or unless we know what we're dealing with, there's no way to really analyze this. You know what I mean? Like, would I take a blind, maybe mid to maybe early 2027 over the 1.2? No. Like the entire 2027 draft class, like even the top like 10 or top 8 or top 6 doesn't just like trump the 1.2, the 1.3 in the 2026 class. And landing spots matter tremendously. Like if Tate and Jordan Tyson and Omar Cooper and Denzel Boston and Casey Concepcion, all those guys don't land in good spots, which that's not going to be the case. Then yeah, maybe the class ends up sucking, but situation's everything. So give me the example of a 2027 comparison to 2026, and I'll tell you what I think. But when people start talking about like just go get 2027 picks, that's about as dumb as when Schefter said that the Eagles were not interested in 2026 picks; they wanted 2027 picks. Why? What pick are you talking about in 2027? Oh wait, you don't know? You don't know if it's an early 2027 Schefter or late 2027? I'm sorry, but Howie doesn't sit here and go, oh, I want 2027 because I don't know what I'm doing. Howie's going, I'm a mad scientist. In the late first round of the 2026 draft, I'll find somebody that's better than anybody. So that's the way I feel too. Like I'm not going to just take a blind 2027 pick that could be early and throw away the opportunity to get Jordan Tyson or Carnell Tate or, maybe even Casey Concepcion, maybe even some of you might say Makai Lemon, some of you might say Sadiq Love, and then maybe one other running back. There's a lot of talent, a lot of talent. Can anybody explain why we have this like weird icon? Travis, you said shall, and I don't know what that's referring to, but right before it, there's like a some sort of like what is that? Is anybody else seeing that, or is it just me? I'm seeing like a some sort of like I don't know. This is weird. The chat's acting weird to me. I'm seeing like everybody, not everybody, but almost everybody has like this weird little character in front of their message. Let's see here. Saturn, what's up, my boy? The boys are in the building. What's going on, Daniel? Daniel, Scotty in the building. Slim, appreciate you. Caps in the building. Yo, got a new badge. Okay. I don't know. Top people that comment live. Yeah, the number one badge. Like Slim's number one right now. Guys, guess what? What, Matthew Golden? Did you give up on Matthew Golden? You gonna change your name finally? I haven't been on a live in a while. Well, Scotty, where you been, bro? We've missed you, pal. See, I don't know what. I feel like the chat is a little off. All right, let's do a poll. Somebody give me a combo of players, and we'll throw them up on a poll real quick, and then we'll talk about it. So, someone throw out a 1-for-1, a 2-for-2, Dynasty redraft. Matthew Golden Glazer. Does anybody else see in that character? Like in front of Dom Mars has a Matthew. This is Matthew Gods, but before that, there's a weird like symbol. I'm kind of thinking I'm the only one seeing it. And then right here, M3G says Tootin, but right before it, there's a symbol. I don't think you guys are seeing it, but it's like weird. No, I'm not seeing it. Okay, I don't know what the hell's going on. All right, hit me with the Luther Burden versus who? Traded BTJ for Burden. That could go either way. Tootin versus Marks. Caps. I wouldn't take Tootin or Marks over Tootin. It's not even close for me. I don't even feel like wasting time on a poll. Matthew Golden for Franklin. They're both not that. I don't want either one. Burden versus BTJ. I guess that's a pretty good one. Sergio with the super chat in the building, baby. Just traded T and Watson 2027 third for Rome. T and Watson a 27 third for Rome and Jaden and a 2027 second. What do you think? I'm assuming it's a 1 QB, and I'm assuming you needed a QB. So Jaden Daniels and Rome for T. Yeah, I love that. I mean, if it's a super flex, you crush him, but I don't think it's a super flex. I think it's a 1 QB, but still very, very good. Jaden Higgins. Bro. Why would you write Jaden, Sergio? Why would you write J as if Jaden gets we're on a first name basis with him? Okay, let me go back and look at it then. 20. So T Higgins and a Christian Watson and a 27 third for Rome and Higgins in a second. That all depends on Rome, bro. I don't know. I think I'd rather have Higgins. Don't get mad at me, bro. Don't get mad at me. I love how you, Jaden. Yeah, I like Rome a lot. I do, but T's in a better spot right now until Rome. I mean, Rome's got to compete with not only Burden, but now he's got to compete with Loveland and an erratic quarterback that was worse than he was. Caleb Williams was the worst quarterback in the entire National Football League in bad throws and poor passes. Speculation. He was the dead last in the entire National Football League in bad throws. He's also, borderline 50% passer, doesn't throw until the fourth quarter. Obviously, did very good when that happened. But, I mean, the point is, like, there's three players they got to feed. So I'm going to take T. Higgins. But if Rome got traded, which isn't going to happen now that DJ Moore's gone, they're just not going to do it. I mean, it would be different, but J-Mo versus Scary Terry. I kind of like that one. Let's put that in a poll. Sergio, don't get mad. I like T a little more, but not a ton. Like that's fine, bro. There's nothing wrong with that. That's on Bucky Irving in Dynasty. Zach, is that you? Well, I love Bucky, but you got to buy at the right price, and I think the price is definitely good. I think you could get Bucky for a pretty good discount right now. I don't think you're paying running back high-end running back 2 value. You're paying mid to late running back 2 value on Bucky. So I love Bucky at that cost. Now, Zach has been in the Patreon like panicking, like Peter, on Bucky a little bit, because Doomsday Zach is what we call him. Look, there's risk, my boy. There's risk. I mean, on one hand, you have a offensive coordinator in Zach Robinson, who just turned Bijan into a monster. Okay, you hand him Bucky, and the first words out of his mouth were, "I view Bucky in the same light as I view Bijan." Doesn't matter if you agree with it, you know. It's the fact that he's even saying it. Now, you could say, "Okay, Smitty, but tell me a time where a coordinator has come in, or a coach, and talked up a player and not used him." Liam Cohen. Liam Cohen comes in. BTJ got to get him 10 targets a game. BTJ didn't deliver. But that's not really on Liam Cohen. Liam Cohen wanted to use him, didn't work out. Bucky, to me, it's all about staying healthy and not opening the door to, an opportunity that could get away from him. Like I truly think that, Sean Tucker did get brought back, which is a little concerning. Just a little bit, because it was kind of like, okay, Gainwell is not a between the tackle runner. He's a PPR monster if you give him the ball, but he's not like exactly 100%, I would say, translating wherever he goes. Like Kenny Gainwell did really good last year, and he could take away some PPR work from Bucky, but that's okay if Bucky's getting this goal line work that he didn't have last year. Then they bring Sean Tucker back. So there's definitely risk involved, but the fact that Tucker coming back, Kenny Gainwell's, arrival, and the injury concern from last year injected, all those things get injected into the evaluation process across the board in Dynasty. And now you have Bucky Irving as a discount, but a risky, high risk, high reward discount. And I agree that he is high risk, high reward. The end of the story here is that you shouldn't own him in every league. You should definitely have some Bucky shares, because he's one of the more exciting running backs in the National Football League. But we've seen this before, where this goes in a positive direction, or it could go in a negative direction. And if Kenny Gainwell gets in there because Bucky can't stay healthy, and then Gainwell starts producing, guess what? Zach Robinson's going to use both of them. So it's kind of hard to say. I would just say don't oversaturate. Don't have him in like 25% of your leagues. Like if you play in 5 Dynasty leagues, you shouldn't have him in probably more than 1. Kenny Gainwell is an amazing handcuff. So you want to cuff him. He's probably going to be 1 or 2 on the cuff board in terms of most valuable handcuff. And he's going to have a little bit of standalone value. But I would say this, out of the gate, Bucky's going to have the opportunity. The sky's the limit. Zach Robinson turned Bijan into a monster. And Bucky probably will have more opportunities than he did last year in situations where Sean Tucker came in and scored touchdowns. Because Sean Tucker wasn't that efficient. He just got volume at the right time. So that's how I feel about Bucky. All right, we're going to throw BTJ and I think Burden, right, as a poll option. So let me throw a poll up real quickly and see if we can get you guys voting. And they've added a lot of things on here. Where did they put the polls? No, I don't want to do that. God, they moved everything around. Here we go. Okay, redraft, PPR, Burden, and BTJ. I don't think Burden's gonna, or BTJ's gonna win this vote, but here we go. There we go. Okay, let's see. What do we got? So Burden, 64. BTJ 31. Okay. 67-33. Coming in hot. CMC or Love? I'm going Love. JMO, Scary Terry. I'll try and do that one next year. It's a good one. JMO, Scary Terry. I like that one. It's not letting me vote. I don't know, John. Maybe you're too negative all the time. Maybe it doesn't let you vote. DMO or Tootin. I'm taking Tootin over Demont, bro. Thoughts on Henderson? I mean, Henderson's kind of the same boat that Bucky is in a way. You know, a little bit different, but I mean, I freaking love Hendy. You know, but does Vrabel love him? I don't know. Stores versus Sadiq. Love them both. Probably Sadiq for now, but Stores in the right spot could definitely trump, uh, trump him. Kind of like Kincaid and Laporta. You know, where's Jason's value in a 12-team one QB, one or two? I mean, what do you mean? Its values to the moon, bro. Burden will be a superstar. Probably will be. I mean, we loved him more than anybody, bro. MHJ versus Waddle. Okay, I'll do that one too. So Geo's was what was Geo's Tootin? What was it? Geo, what was it again? May versus Lawrence. No, come on, John. John, stop. John, what are you doing? May versus Trevor Lawrence. Give me a break, bro. Tyron versus Bucky. I mean, debatable, but is it hot and AZ right now? No, John. Maybe for you, John, because any temperature I give you, you're going to complain about. But no, it's like 80. It's like 80 degrees. Perfect. Terry versus JMO, and then Travis said MHJ versus Waddle. Okay, so this poll is pretty much done. Burden one, expected. Terry Roberts, Smitty thoughts on Quinshon Judkins. He is talented, but the team scares me more than the talent. Thank you, Terry. More than the talent, the injury. It should scare you. Injury is bad, bro. He's lucky to have his leg, and he doesn't catch passes. That was a knock on him walking into the league. And then what does he get handed? A head coach in Munkin that doesn't throw to his running back. So, no, thank you. Not a fan of Judkins. I like him, but mix in the injury comeback mixed with the fact that he wasn't a PPR guy coming in, and given the fact that his head coach never threw to Derrick Henry, when I always said Derrick Henry would have been one of the better pass catching backs in the league. He could have been a top 5 every year, but they decided not to throw the damn ball to him. It was stupid, to be honest. All right, let's hit another poll. Let's go with a poll. Replace this poll. We'll go with. I keep forgetting what. Uh, Tootin. What was it? I don't know. I can't. My brain isn't working. What is it? Waddle and MHJ was Travis's. What was the other one? What was Geo's? JMO Terry. Okay, JMO Terry. Thank you. PPR redraft. My brain's fried today. JMO McLaurin. Boom. Boom. Vote. Tootin versus the NFL draft. Thanks, Gio. Appreciate you. Tootin versus the draft. Love I mean, probably 5 or 6, bro. You'd probably put him 5 or 6. MHJ Waddle next. Okay. So far, JMO's winning. Not surprising over McLaurin, but at the same, because ADP suggests that. But I mean, I don't know. McLaurin's pretty crafty. It's just will he stay healthy? McLaurin, like Mike Evans, is doubted because of the injury concern and the age, not really because their talent level is obviously amazing, and they're kind of in number one spots, right? McLaurin's in the number one spot. JMO's the number two. JMO's arguably the third option. So I don't know if I agree with this really. I'm big. I'm one of the bigger JMO supporters you'll find, but I'm usually a JMO supporter mid-season or like when week 1 and week 2 are gone by and everyone's panicking. And 2 years in a row, we've been don't draft JMO, wait till his value dips, then trade for him. And somebody that doesn't understand me or the way I do my content, or somebody that's not adjust and adapt driven will watch me in the offseason when I say don't draft JMO in the mother freaking third or fourth round. And then when it comes week 3, 4, 5, and we're like, trade for JMO, they're like, oh, so Smitty, flip-flopping on JMO, I see. You coming over to the JMO side? When that's the way it works. Love JMO. Always love JMO. But he's a better player to trade for on the panic that he's not delivering the cost of entry. McLaurin, on the other hand, I mean, there's the injury risk, of course, but I truly believe that McLaurin's going to be pretty good this year. So I don't know. Part of me, if push came to shove, I'd rather have the number one wide receiver in the Commanders' offense than the number 2, 3. And you put Gibbs in the mix here, and JMO's really the 2/3, not the 2 in the Lions' offense. Give me McLaurin. So I disagree with the poll. But it's interesting. It's a good 30 votes. Let's put in the other one. Replace it. It's going to be MHJ. So redraft PPR, MHJ, and Waddle. This is a good one, man. I'm not going to inject my opinion until we get really deep into the poll, because I want to see what you guys think without me influencing it at all. I agree with the statement. I just don't understand how, why is JMO always overvalued? Why is Michael Pittman always over? And I love JMO. But why is everybody taking a 2/3 on a team in the third or fourth round? You can't do it. This is why I said don't draft Ladd McConkey last year, but then trade for him when everybody panicked. Now, Ladd didn't ever bounce back, so it was kind of a bad buy low advice, but it was so dirt cheap it didn't hurt anybody. He literally didn't hurt anyone. Nobody got dinged by going and getting Ladd McConkey on my advice, but he was certainly overdrafted. Deontay Johnson, Michael Pittman Jr., Ladd McConkey last year, JMO last year. People scooping up in the third or fourth round players that aren't even the number one on their team. T. Higgins, you can't take T. Higgins in the third or fourth, top of the round 4. You just can't do it. Laporta should be good with Petzing. I mean, given how good McBride was, but I mean, Laporta's got to stay healthy too. But yeah, Laporta's there. Gibbs, it's going to be like JMO's doesn't get the volume he needs to be what he could become. But if anybody says something like JMO, bro, he's really talented. I know that. But you can't just live off of, breadcrumbs, and there's not enough to go around when you're throwing 10 targets to St. Brown, 6 of them to Laporta, and Gibbs gets 4 or 5, and Tesla gets, 1 target for a touchdown. And then it's like, JMO, you're like, why is JMO have 4 catches or 4 targets? Raise your hand if you were a JMO owner last year and you went through multiple games going, why is it JMO getting the ball? Raise your hand. Thumb up, hand raise, eggplant emoji, whatever. Put your hand up. How many times did you sit there and go, where's JMO? Now, play calling is different. I get it, but you gotta factor that in. And I'm blanking. Who's the receiver the Lions just signed? Why am I forgetting the receiver? Who's the receiver they just signed? They just pulled in another pass catcher. What was his? Who was that? Who is that masked man? I don't know why I'm blank. Again, my brain's fried. I've been working on thefantasyfootballshow.com like a bat out of hell. I've been updating the thing left and right, 10 hours a day. Go check out thefantasyfootballshow.com. It is the most beautiful thing you'll ever see. Dortch, my boy Dortch. Tesla. No, Bruce. Tesla he's drafted. I'm talking about Dortch, the Dorchinator. Dortch was a great little like undervalued asset for the Arizona Cardinals, and Dortch is nice. Dortch is good. He's crafty. I'm not saying he'll ever be a team's star or anything, but Dortch is a really good addition. How do I feel about Golden this year? Who's Golden? Matthew Golden? Who the hell's Matthew Golden? Is practically his like pre-rookie year. What do I feel about? I mean, Dobbs moving out of the way potentially could open the door to him. I'm not trying to be too hard on him, but I mean, I want zero to do with him unless he just fell to such a deep ADP that I'm searching for players. I'm like, well, he could get catches. Yeah, let's go with him. But like, I have no idea what he's going to do. Travis says big MHA disrespect, 33 votes, only 39% of the vote. I can't blame anybody doubting either one of these guys, to be honest. I mean, everybody having expectations for Waddle to what? What's Waddle done? Waddle's been given how much time to do what everybody's been expecting Waddle to do? This reminds me of Michael Pittman Jr., Waddle. Like Waddle. What's he, like 97 years old now? Remember when he was like 25, 24, 26? It's like, oh, he's still young. Now he's what, 28? Is he 28 now? 28 turning 29? It's like, what's Waddle done? What's Waddle done? He's going into an erratic passing attack, which Waddle tremendously helps. And I can't wait to see Denver so good on paper. And Waddle's a huge, huge acquisition. No one's denying that fact, what Knicks is being handed. But at the same time, it's an erratic passing attack that Waddle helps tremendously. That balls in the fourth quarter, maybe Knicks plays different football, different play caller. So that could change, some things for sure. But that's also going to change some things for Sutton. If you're gonna, you can't judge the play calling and say, oh, it will be different for Waddle this year without also including Sutton in that and saying, well, if you're going to tell me that things will be different with Waddle or with the Broncos because of play calling in general, then you can't include what Sutton's been doing. In my opinion, Sutton and Waddle, one is not better than the other. This is a 1B, not even 1A, 1B and 1B, maybe 2A and 2A. Actually, that's more like it. Waddle and Sutton are both 2As. Neither one of them is even a 1B. But Waddle's not better than Sutton, and Sutton's not better than Waddle. And you can say whatever you want. Caleb Johnson versus Matthew Golden. Why would we even have that conversation? Caleb Johnson's a nothing. I'm going to have more rushing yards than Caleb Johnson. And Matthew Golden, I mean, look, Matthew Golden wins this debate if we're going to actually debate it, because he's probably going to catch 30 balls or 40 balls or whatever. How do I feel about Monty? I think he's overcooked in the oven a little bit. I think the expectation is tremendously high. And the idea that he can deliver upon said high expectation in Houston is a tall order. I don't think he'll be able to deliver upon. I think Monty gets hurt if he gets run enough to satisfy everybody's ADP. And if he doesn't get the work and they keep him healthy, then I don't think he satisfies the ADP. So I think that's kind of how my take on Monty. I don't think Monty goes. First of all, Monty goes into one of the worst offensive line situations in the entire National Football League, playing behind a quarterback that's lining up under center that I don't recognize, and neither of any of you recognize anymore in CJ Stroud. And while Houston's D is good, that doesn't matter. Like Woody Marks was abused last year, and Woody Marks was one of the best receiving backs to come out of college in the last, like, not the best, but one of the best to come out of college over the last like five years. They didn't throw to Woody Marks. Woody Marks had an 80-plus reception college football season as a running back, and they didn't throw the ball to him. That offensive line would tackle Woody Marks before he even got off the bench. And you expect Monty to go in there and face stack boxes and horrible offensive line production and not get injured? No, thank you. Genty, Dalvin Cook, or Dalvin Cook. Genty, prime Dalvin Cook. Genty and James Cook. Give me Genty all day. I do like Cook. This is not a disrespect to Cook. I think Cook is good. Give Cook DJ Moore as a teammate, and I give you less production. One-dimensional usage of James Cook over the years is pretty proven and cemented in, meaning they're not going to give him 100 yards and also give him 5 receptions. They're either going to give him 5 receptions for 55 yards and a touchdown and 20 yards rushing, or they're going to give him 100 yards rushing, no receiving work, and it's just like a back and forth of one-dimensional usage. But then on top of that, it's like you get DJ Moore involved, and now things kind of watered down for Cook a little bit. I love Cook. His vision's great. His ability to find space, hit the hole, recognize the defense, read the defense, understand the defense. I mean, Cook has definitely progressed tremendously. Hawkinson going to be better this year? I don't know. That's like asking about the weather, bro. That's one you can't really measure. I like Genty more than Cook, but it's not crazy to draft Cook over Genty. Saquon versus Henry for 2026. Great question. I'd probably say let's do that one. Saquon, Henry, pull, replace, PPR, redraft. Saquon. All right, there we go. Another one. Another pull up and running. He was running. Henry versus Saquon. Saddle up. Ladd versus Adams. I think I might go Ladd, bro. I don't like drafting Adams right now. I mean, 789 yards. I know he was injured, but I just don't know. Have we seen Adams' last 1,000-yard season? And we didn't see it last year. Will he never get another 1,000-yard season again? The Rams tried to trade him. Rams gave. If you guys think they're going to be loyal to Adams, look how disloyal McVay and the Rams were. Even though I appreciate the Rams, I respect the Rams, I like the Rams a lot, and I predict a lot for the Rams in 2026. But who is disrespected more in the National Football League than Cooper Kupp? Cooper Kupp gave the Rams so much, and they spoon-fed him to the point where they shortened his career, which they're doing with Puka. And you'd think, oh, they'd have loyalty to him to the moon and back. They didn't. They discarded him with the trash. So you think they're loyal to Adams? They tried to trade him already. And when they sense you're not there anymore or something's happening, they'll move on. That's why they try to trade him. What's the deal with Mixon? I mean, no one knows, and that's because they're hiding something. But he's done. ETN versus Walker, PPR Keeper League. I mean, the ADPs will tell you Walker by quite a bit. And I would tell you, I want to say Walker. Is there a hint of me that's thinking injury concern? Andy Reid, the Chiefs kind of not doing what you think they'll do with the certain players, like look at Brashard Smith, look how they use Worthy, look how they use CEH, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, look how they used Mahomes for years until they got back on track this year. I mean, misuse of Mahomes. The Chiefs have misused personnel for years until they got back on track last year with Mahomes. But it's been a while. What's the correlation? Is anybody know in the chat for 500? not real 500, but five. We're playing Jeopardy here. Anybody know in the chat what the correlation is to the Chiefs tanking? Why the Chiefs suck using players? Worthy, Mahomes over the last handful of years. 2 words, Matt Nagy. Where's Matt Nagy now? Offensive coordinator, play caller, New York Giants, baby. Jeez. Henry, 42, Saquon, 58. Kind of interesting, man. I mean, Henry brought the thunder last year, and Saquon didn't. I'm a little shocked. Hopefully, it was Nagy. I still worry a little bit about Reed. I do have a little bit of concern about Walker versus ETN. I don't have a concern about Walker. I have concern about Walker versus other options, right? Like ETN, and you say to yourself, okay, their ADPs are far apart, but would I rather draft ETN around later and draft a wide receiver where Walker's going? Sometimes I feel that way, and other times I'm like, giddy up. We're going to the moon with Walker. Walker is in such a good situation. They're paying him. They wanted him. I highly doubt they brought him in to not use him. He's the NFL Super Bowl MVP. There's just a little different. They didn't want Pacheco. They wanted to go strong at RB and be really, really good at RB this year. Go with a big name. And they did. Everything we heard, all that smoke was real. And so I think we're in a different territory. Plus, Bieniemy's back. Nagy's gone. I think we're back to the running game being something special, especially with Mahomes recovering from the ACL tear. They're going to lean on Walker in the running game. It's just a matter of, can Walker stay healthy? If Walker can stay healthy, I believe he's going to the moon. Will he stay healthy, though? That I don't know. ETN could be a tad bit safer at cost of entry, but obviously you're not drafting ETN where Walker is. So, for argument's sake, you could draft both of them. You could go wide receiver round 1, draft Walker in 2, and draft ETN in 3. So, JD5 versus May, CMC versus Love. Let's do the CMC versus Love one. PPR redraft. There we go. I'm done with the Commanders. After 1 year, Jake, they bring you a bunch of glory 1 year, and then 1 year, JD5 gets hurt. You're done with them, huh? I don't hate your take. It's like they burn you for years, my boy. The Doomsday burden. Not even close, Hugh. Burden to the moon. ETN in the 10th for me. Says Travis. May versus JD5 LMAO. I don't know if you can laugh at that one. I'd rather have May right now, but if the Patriots don't give May a weapon like AJB or Pickens in a trade, I don't know. I don't think it's that crazy to be wavering on JD5, who runs the ball well too. Commanders a way better position. I agree. Rock out. What round should we pick Igbuka? I think his ADP is around 5, and I'm fine with that. I think Igbuka could be top 5 to 10 wide receiver this year, easy. Do you expect it? No. Do you pay for that? No, you don't have to. Anybody that hears me say Igbuka could be top 5 to 10, and they think I'm telling you to draft him earlier than round 5, they just don't know they don't know they don't know anything about me or understand fantasy football. McConkey by a mile. What is the question? McConkey or Burden? I don't know by a mile, bro. I mean, I think you could argue either one very, very easily. Rome over Burden. No, thank you, Aldi. But I don't. I understand it. I mean, from a talent perspective, you might be correct if we go back in a time machine and they develop Rome properly. But my fear is they haven't been developing him. I know part of it's his fault getting hurt, but he just fell behind, and he's got to catch up. Burden was drafted by Ben Johnson. Rome was not. Burden will 100% be put in a better position for targets and better, more designed plays for him. Adunze's playing catch up all these, so I probably would change that stance if you can, or at least mix it up to get a little share of both because Burden is entrenched in the wide receiver one role. Adunze's got to outplay him to get in a position to then get more work. Hampton or Genty? Great question. We'll do that one next. So Love's winning this one, 33 votes. Looks like we got 33 votes each time. We got 33 voters in here. And the rest of you aren't voting. Redraft, PPR, Hampton, Genty. Alrighty. Aldi, trust your gut, though. I'm wrong about minimum 25-30% of everything that comes out of my mouth. And that's not a knock. That's like a perfection year for fantasy football. So Aldi to the moon. Appreciate you. Vader, Bare Bones, appreciate you guys all here. Fish, what's up? Boneless, appreciate you. Aldi to the moon. Regardless. Well, trust your gut, Aldi. And understand, like a year and a half ago, you heard me talking Roma Dunze top 5 to 10 receivers. So, Aldi, you could just say Smitty. I'm listening to the previous Smitty. Terry along as they give him a piece. Evans or Ladd? Evans for me. I love Ladd too, but Evans for me. Evans could be a wide receiver one. I'm not paying wide receiver one value out of Evans. I'm paying wide receiver two value and even mid wide receiver two value. But I believe we're going to get wide receiver one value out of Evans. Genty's still better than Hampton by a mile. Genty's so much better than Hampton. It's not even funny. But the situation, it's not that they can't have equal situations, but that's the only thing that can pull Hampton ahead is because he's got Mike McDaniel and you saw the Achane usage. But Keaton Mitchell's there in LAC, and we just got to get through the draft too. What if they draft somebody, But Genty, from a talent perspective, there's no one better than him in the league than Bijan and Gibbs. Bijan Gibbs, Bijan tier break, Genty tier break, in a way. Oh, love, Genty love. So Gibbs, Bijan Gibbs, and it's not a huge tier break, but it's a tier break, and then Genty love Genty. And Achane's up there. He's just so unique that he's got to be used right too, though. Let's say Achane's right below those boys in the same tier. And I love Achane. I love Achane, but he does need to be used a certain way. If they don't use him that way, you'll see a disappointing year. But I'm hopeful. Warren over Loveland, yeah. Missed us says he can't wait for next season. Well, bro, make sure you're getting on over to the fantasyfootballshow.com, bro. I mean, the content, I can't even begin to tell you how amazing it is. Just look at the homepage. Go to thefantasyfootballshow.com, look at the homepage, start drooling, understand that everything you see is what it is. Like you see a stock market, there's a stock market. You see a trade calculator, there's a trade calculator. You see a lineup calculator for week one, that's already up. Multiple player trades, player pages are absolutely fantastic. Walker versus Chase Brown. Probably go Chase Brown by a hair, but I love both of them. Harvey or Kyron. It's a good one, Travis. I'd probably say Harvey for now. If he escapes the draft, that's a risk you take right now. I'm ranking him, but Olave and Nico. Love versus Genty. What's going? Genty 73. 40 votes on this one. Cap says the revamped website is amazing. Caps it's I mean, I'm telling you, man, I'm so pumped about it. It's unbelievable. I spent so much time on it, and so much time on it that I need to write more content because I keep making it better and better and better. But I need to populate it. But man, the player pages are unbelievable. And one part I love about the fantasyfootballshow.com player pages is that there's a discussion at the bottom of every player page to where like you guys can all throw around comments, and it's just so helpful when you go to make a trade. I want you to think, I'm going to go venture onto that player page and just see if I want to trade them. Or if you're trading for a player, you venture onto the player page and you can spend like 15 minutes just looking around going, okay, let me look at the advanced data, let me look at the comments and discussion, let me look at the trade calculator, let me look at the ranking. All of that is on the player page. um, Outlooks, videos, everything. Scotland, nice. Thank you, Jack of all trades. Appreciate you. Herbert versus Dart. Herbert for me by not even close, bro. Fan and Warren, kind of a toss up. I think I want one in one league and one in the other. Terry Roberts with a $10 holler. Smitty, this is for your hard work on the site. Thank you, Terry. Terry, appreciate you. Make sure your username and password still work. Everything should be good, but just make sure you're good. Dart overrated. I'm taking Ward plus every time. This is talent. Yeah, I wouldn't mind someone saying Dart over Ward or Ward over Dart, but Herbert over both of them for sure. Burrow versus Mahomes. This year, probably Burrow. Dynasty, I'd say Mahomes. Which tight end you go early round? McBride goes in two, starting to fall in the mid to late two though, but we'll see. You could also go at the top of one, and then Bowers goes at top of three. So it just kind of depends. AJB versus Javante, Pickens versus Cook. AJB versus Javante. I'd probably go Javante for safety, AJB high risk, high reward, especially assuming he gets traded. And I'm going to assume that. So I'm going to go AJB if I need some bigger points, and go Javante if I need safety. Pickens, Cook, I think it's dead even. If I needed a receiver, I'd rather have Pickens. If I needed a running back, I'd rather have Cook. And if I just had to pick and I'm in the middle of a draft and I'm in the second round, I think I'd take Cook, and then I hope Pickens falls to the next round. Like Willis a lot. Can't believe those players play flag football like that. I don't even know what the hell were these teams thinking, letting these guys go out there and risk tearing an ACL, man. Thank you, Boneless. Appreciate you, bro. Your Pickens video today got me a little nervous on the pick. I mean, you should be a little nervous on it. I mean, what if he holds out and he gets hurt? But what if he gets traded and he goes to freaking New England or whatever? Hall or Taylor? Come on, Gio. Bro, Hall's like a fourth rounder. Taylor's like a second. Taylor's a first rounder, really. It's like a first, second round turn. I mean, maybe even like number 9 or 10 or whatever. They're not even close, bro. And for good reason. And the Jets, don't draft anybody on the Jets, my man. I take Hall in a vacuum, like in a bind, but I take him a 1 out of 7 or 8 league. I probably wouldn't even take Hall in more than 1 out of 10 leagues. It sucks, man. It is what it is. You got to adjust and adapt. He's in a horrible situation. JT by a country mile. HN or Love, I'd split it 50-50. HN safer. Pickens is going to New England. He could. He very well could. It's either New England or Baltimore is what I said on tonight's show. Rico versus Chuba. It's a good one. I think I go Chuba. Rico's a midseason monster, though. Not buying Willis. Not buying Willis is good enough. QB Dolphins probably one overall next year. I think people. I think you could be right and you could be deadly wrong. The reason you'd be very very wrong is if they draft Carnell Tate or Jordan Tyson. Because guess what? If they do that, Miami, they're better off than they were with Waddle. They have Malik Willis, they have Achan, and they have a future stud wide receiver, and they're trying to build and win. I'm not saying they'll win. I'm not saying they'll make the playoffs. I'm not saying any of that, but I think people are undervaluing Willis. Willis is a good quarterback prospect, man. And Willis is going to try and prove to people there's no going and getting the one pick. I don't know. They might get it. I'm just saying that's Willis's mentality, and I like it. I think Willis is very underrated. I wouldn't touch any Jet players if I could help it. None. Even Wilson. I don't want Garrett Wilson. I love Garrett Wilson, but unfortunately, he's in the worst spot he could be. Chuba, the cheapest running back that could be a high running back too. No, I wouldn't say the cheapest, but Bucky's kind of that player probably. Terry, thank you for the super chats. Who else dropped a super chat tonight? Let's see. Terry, and Sergio. Appreciate you boys dropping the super chat. Wads, thank you very, very much. Appreciate you very much. All messages. Let me go back to that. Thank you, boys. Appreciate you. MHJ or Michael Wilson. I'm going Michael Wilson, man. I don't even understand how. And I'm not saying I'm not going to give MHJ a try on 1 out of 10 of my leagues. I will. I'll draft MHJ. I hesitantly, but I don't understand how Michael Wilson Jr. And the cost of Michael Wilson later, you're not drafting Michael Wilson where MHJ goes. Please understand the ADPs. When I answer some of these questions, I try and preface that. But if I ever forget, understand ADP. Michael Wilson's going far later than MHJ. So it comes down to I'd rather have cost of entry Wilson later and a different player where MHJ is getting drafted. However, if you ask me who's going to just flat out outscore the other, Gio sent a gifted membership and Mista, you got it. So congrats on that. Thank you very much, Gio. If one's going to outscore the other, and you're not talking about draft value, give me Michael Wilson because Brissett is back. What's going to change? Hendy and Tet versus Harvey and T. Give me Hendy and Tet all day. Mexican Coke run. I haven't drank Coca-Cola consistently in months, bro. Probably since 4th of July is when I think I stopped drinking soda. I drink it when I go like to a restaurant or something, but I used to literally have like 7 or 8 Mexican Cokes a day. And if I get to my ideal weight, I think I'll go back to drinking a little bit, like 2 a day, 3 a day. But I got to get down to the weight. London or Jetta's, but I love both. The floor positive thing for the Cardinals. Yeah, I mean, Hackett is not, and he's the one responsible for bringing Nathaniel Hackett in as his offensive coordinator. Thank God Nathaniel Hackett is not play calling. But I mean, that's a little bit of incompetence, man. So LaFleur worries me right there. Soda gives you diabetes. Yes and no. If you're not prone to diabetes and you take care of yourself, you're probably not going to. You're probably I'm not saying you can't, but you're probably not going to develop it unless you're not taking care of yourself in other ways. It's not just drink. It's all about your sugar intake in general, bro. Like I don't eat pie or eat candy. My sugar intake drinking 8 sodas a day was lower than the average person, but it's still a lot of calories. But when people say drinking 8 sodas a day, no, you know what will give you diabetes?
not taking care of yourself, eating pie, eating candy, and then, having all these other things. And then you think, oh, I'm going to drink 2 Cokes a day and I'll be fine. I would literally drink 8 sodas a day and be under the sugar intake than almost anybody I ever met, drinking 8 Cokes a day because I didn't take in any other sugar. But it's hard to, if you take care of yourself, you're exercising and everything, and you're not prone to diabetes. You're not necessarily. I mean, I am no doctor, just a deep fake doctor here on the internet. But I'm pretty. You start gaining a lot of weight, and then you take not eating right. That's a whole different thing. It's not the soda that's doing that. It's everything. Coke Zero, I tried it. I couldn't. Rice games played from now on over 10. I'd say, 10. I'd say under. And I hate saying that. I hate saying that, bro, but I probably have to say under. Guys, drop in the chat over or under 10 games for Rashi Rice. I'd say plays less than 10 games. I mean, he got a 6-game suspension, and he's now a repeat offender, and he's in trouble, bro. But could it all go away and we never hear anything about it? Yeah. Good job, Husseini. You know what I love is when someone comes in and goes, "Wow, what's happening with Rashi Rice?" Like, bro, where you been? Where you been? Something going on with Rashi Rice? I thought that was already taken care of. Oh boy. Uh, JD5 top 3 QB this year could be. Don't count on that. Don't pay for it. Although his ADP is about QB 3, 4, or 5. You sometimes have to pay him a QB 3, 4 value. It's not crazy. Rice over 10. I don't think he gets suspended. Well, if Rice was in trouble, something would have happened already. He is in trouble, though, Husseini. I mean, NFL's doing their investigation right now, and unfortunately, domestic is just not one thing the NFL lets play out in court. But if we don't hear anything else, and let's say, the investigation by the DA is what's going to happen because it's domestic violence, and that gets picked up by the DA, and the DA looks into it, and if the DA decides they don't have a case, i.e., the victim, which is the baby mama. It's not some random person. The baby mama doesn't have anything, um, a leg to stand on. Then the league will decide. It would probably be under a 6-game suspension. Then in that case, maybe. But if there was still something that the league's like, look, you made the DA, just because the DA doesn't want to prosecute doesn't mean that there isn't evidence. It means the DA doesn't feel like it's a slam dunk, and it's all about numbers games for the DA. They got to win. They can't win, they won't do it. And if there's any doubt, then they're going up against an athlete, a bunch of money. They might not proceed, but the NFL will look at it differently. Just like Deshaun Watson still got suspended. Everyone's like, "Oh, Deshaun Watson." Then the DA wouldn't take the case, so he's obviously in it. No, the NFL suspended him. Um, we know that Rashi Rice is. We know what Rashi Rice is with no case, but the case has to be considered. Well, he's a repeat offender on probation. So if any part of the victim's story is correct, the NFL is going to be like, "We told you, you're suspended. Like we have a zero tolerance situation here with you, Rashi Rice, because you are on probation. It's not like slap on the wrist. NFL athletes get slap on the wrist. Rashi Rice just got a 6-game suspension. They didn't slap Rashi Rice on the wrist at all. It was a 6-game suspension, and he's on probation, and he's going to be a repeat offender now. Yeah, I'll be doing the Scott Fishbowl. I'll probably be live streaming it in Phoenix. So if anybody wants to go to it, I'll be talking about that on my Instagram. I'm praying Jaden Royals can get some playing time. Yeah, that's another thing. Like Andy Reid, he talks up a big game. He's like, Brashard Smith is so good. It's been amazing in practice. We're going to give him the ball this week. Brashard Smith is like on an exercise bike with no pads. Like, what are we doing, Andy? What are we doing? Penix dang. Man, my knee has been killing me. I'm gonna start stretching. I'm gonna go running, and man, my knee has just been. I got a meniscus. I know I need an AJ Brown cleanup because my meniscus is if I don't do anything weird like cutting or running around the yard like at an angle, like putting pressure on the outside of my knee, it can be good. I won't be in pain running forward, but I go and try and play soccer in the backyard with the little ones or anything like that, and then all of a sudden the left side of my meniscus, and then on top of that my IT band, my knees. I've had every knee surgery in the book, so that's why I always talk about knee surgeries with such confidence because your boy's been through it. Who is the number one sleeper? No one is predicting. Um, man, number one sleeper. No one's predicting. I Keaton Mitchell comes to mind as like a deep, deep call just because of that is Achan. He's an Achan, and I don't want to say that because I love freaking Hampton, but I would say that's one. I think another one that comes to mind. I still think Milrow is like we're talking like you're talking about nobody's talking about him at all. That's what I'm taking from this. I'm not trying to find like you know a Luther Burden or something. We're going deep. I think Milrow is still a very high potential player. I think man, what running back comes to mind for me? Bigsby is going to be intriguing if Saquon gets hurt or anything. Those would be like the true deep calls, like got things like that. Parker Washington's too big. He's not. Everyone's talking about players like that. If you wanted a bigger name talent, I would say Parker Washington. Those are mid-range guys. Like even Tootin is super undervalued, but he's not. He's not somebody no one's talking about. The question was nobody's talking about. So um, let me see what else. Trying to think of another couple names. I'll come up with a video. We'll do a sleeper video. But I'm very much a person. There's sleepers in round 2. There's sleepers in round 3. There's sleepers in round 4. There's sleepers in round 5. I laugh at people when they tell me that you can't call a second round player a sleeper. You're just defining it. How do you define it? You say second round sleeper. How do you define a third or fourth round sleeper? It's not a deep sleeper. It is a player being slept on. Any player being slept on is a sleeper. So, the none guy definitely being slept on. Jonathan Brooks, no thank you. Round 5. I don't know what you're talking about, Brucey. All right, guys, let's jump over to the Dynasty channel for a 10-minute show. Again, same thing applies. $20 haulers extends the show 5 minutes. We're going to jump over to the Dynasty channel. We're just going to do a random Q&A on the Dynasty channel. 10-minute show. See you over there. Don't be late. And there'll be literally a minute or two gap because I don't have to set up or do anything, crazy. So jump in right away. So going over there. See you all. Appreciate you guys dropping the super chats. Terry, Sergio. Last person to super chat was, I believe it was Sergio, right? Let me see if I can find it. Sergio, and then Gio dropped a gifted membership. Thank you guys for doing that. See you on the Dynasty channel in about 2 minutes. And again, it won't be any time at all.